In a whimsical world of magical kitchen town, everything was bursting with color and cheer. The sun, a giant slice of orange, beamed down on cheerful houses made of gingerbread and breadsticks. The rivers flowed with fresh milk, and the trees grew lollipops and bright red apples. Everyone, from the tiniest blueberry to the tallest stalk of celery, was happy. Well, almost everyone. In a quiet, forgotten corner, nestled behind a stack of greasy old pizza boxes, sat the junk food villain. His throne, a wobbly pile of potato chip bags, crinkled sadly under his weight. He wasn't cackling his usual mischievous laugh or plotting his next chaotic mess. Instead, he just sat there, his once fiery French fry hair drooping like it had been left out in the rain. A deep, heavy feeling he'd never known before settled in his heart. It was loneliness. From his gloomy corner, he watched the rest of the town. He saw Candy Monster with its fluffy, sugary fur, sharing a giggle with Super Broccoli, whose green cape fluttered heroically in the breeze. They were playing tag with a group of giggling strawberries and speedy little peas. Even the shy mushrooms were out, playing hide-and-seek behind giant Swiss cheese blocks. Everyone had a friend. Everyone belonged. He sighed, a puff of stale air that smelled faintly of old soda. For the very first time, he wondered if being a villain was really all it was cracked up to be. What was the point of making a mess if you had no one to share a laugh with afterward? As he watched, a small figure broke away from the playing crowd. It was Candy Monster, whose sweet-scented steps were almost silent. The junk food villain tensed up, expecting a lecture or a challenge. He was used to being chased, to being the bad guy everyone wanted to stop. But Candy Monster didn't look angry. He simply walked over, his big, kind eyes filled with curiosity, not fear. He stopped a few feet away and offered a gentle, warm smile. It was a simple gesture, but for the junk food villain, it felt like the sun breaking through a cloudy day. No one had ever smiled at him like that. No one had ever looked at him and seen anything but a villain. The junk food villain didn't know how to react. He just blinked, surprised. Candy Monster's kindness was more powerful than any super veggie attack he'd ever faced. He felt a strange warmth spread through his chest. Could it be that someone wanted to be his friend? He looked down at his own greasy hands, then back at Candy Monster's welcoming face. Maybe, just maybe, he didn't have to be the villain anymore. Seeing this, some of the other food folks grew nervous. A grumpy carrot whispered to a skeptical lemon, "Can a villain really change his stripes? He's made of junk! It's in his nature!" The lemon pursed his sour lips and nodded. "Once a troublemaker, always a troublemaker, I say!" They remembered all the times the villain had splattered ketchup on the clean countertops and left sticky soda spills everywhere. But Super Broccoli overheard their muttering. He floated over, his voice calm and strong. "Wait," he said. "Everyone deserves a second chance. Remember, even the bravest heroes sometimes stumble. It's not about never making mistakes, it's about learning from them." He turned to the villain. "Do you want to change?" The villain looked at Super Broccoli, then at Candy Monster, and for the first time in a long, long time, he felt a flicker of hope. He nodded slowly. I want to try," he said, his voice barely a whisper. "I want to try something new. Something better." And so, his funny learning journey began. The next day, Candy Monster and Super Broccoli took him to the town's fresh food market. The villain's first challenge. A bright green smoothie. He sniffed it suspiciously. "It smells like a lawn," he mumbled. He took a tiny sip, and his whole face scrunched up in a hilarious grimace. He sputtered and coughed, making a face so funny that even the grumpy carrot had to chuckle. Next, they tried to teach him how to juggle cherry tomatoes. But instead of catching them, he slipped on a runaway blueberry, and the tomatoes went flying, splatting harmlessly against the wall of bread. The whole kitchen erupted in laughter, and this time, the villain laughed along with them. It felt good! He tried to slice a cucumber, but it wiggled out of his hands and rolled across the kitchen floor like a runaway green wheel. He attempted to peel an orange, but ended up with more peel on his nose than in the trash. Each clumsy attempt, each silly mistake, was met not with anger, but with giggles and gentle encouragement. Slowly, the junk food villain started to realize something amazing. Healthy food wasn't just good for you, it was fun. It felt magical. The town's leader, the great chef, who wore a tall, magnificent hat and had a spoon that glowed with gentle light, saw the villain's effort. The chef knew that true change came from within. He called the villain over to his grand cooking station, where a single, beautiful goblet stood waiting. Inside was a smoothie, but not just any smoothie. This one swirled with all the colors of the rainbow and shimmered with a soft, magical light. This is the smoothie of balance, the chef explained in his warm, deep voice. It is made with a little bit of everything in our kitchen: sweetness, strength, and a lot of heart. True happiness isn't about being all healthy or all junk. It's about finding the perfect balance. The villain hesitated. This was the ultimate test. He looked at Candy Monster, who gave him a thumbs up. He saw Super Broccoli, who nodded with pride. He took a deep breath, picking up the heavy goblet with his shaky hands. He closed his eyes and took one brave sip. The moment the glowing liquid touched his lips, a wave of warmth washed over him. It tasted like sunshine and friendship. A brilliant, gentle light surrounded him, lifting him slightly off the ground. The heavy, greasy aura that had clung to him for so long began to fade away, dissolving like sugar in water. The droopy French fry hair sprang back to life, but now it was a mix of golden brown and healthy wheat. His clothes, once stained and dull, brightened into cheerful, balanced colors. He wasn't a hero of pure vegetable power, nor a villain of pure junk. He had transformed into something new. When the light faded, he landed gently on his feet. The heavy feeling in his heart was gone, replaced by a light, joyful energy. He was the balance hero. The fruits and vegetables, who had been watching from a distance, now rushed forward with wide, welcoming smiles. Candy Monster jumped up and down, celebrating his friend's courage. Super Broccoli clapped him on the shoulder. "Welcome, friend," he said proudly. The magical kitchen felt brighter, more complete than ever before. It was a place where everyone, no matter who they were or where they came from, was accepted. And so, the former junk food villain, now the beloved balance hero, found his true place in magical Kitchen Town. He taught everyone that it's okay to enjoy a sweet treat now and then, as long as you also enjoy the wonderful energy of fresh fruits and vegetables. He proved that it's never too late to change, and that a little bit of kindness and a second chance can help anyone find the hero within themselves. Because in magical Kitchen Town, they all learned the most important lesson of all: balance is the real magic, and friendship is the most powerful ingredient. Kids, do you believe in second chances? Let us know what you think in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more amazing magical kitchen tales.